Hey everyone, so this is going to be a bit more of a serious video, but it's just something that I've wanted to address. It's been on my mind for a while now, and I think it's something that doesn't get talked about a lot, and I think needs to be addressed, really. So, I've been playing Robot Arena 2 for over 5 years now, and I'd say for a good chunk of that now, I've been a part of the larger Robot Arena 2 community. I've taken part in several battles. I'm in several Discord servers related to Robot Arena 2. I'd say at this point, while I don't post a whole lot, I am a part of that community. And after speaking to so many people over these years, there's one thing that I will repeatedly hear. And that thing is that Robot Arena 2, the community, is toxic. And that these people are the reason it's so toxic. Funnily enough, depending on who you hear that from, the people who are considered toxic changes from person to person, and, well, that's why I want to talk about this. So, I think the way to start this off is by explaining about my own experience. Now, one day, I was minding my own business when I was alerted to a conversation that was happening in one of the Discord servers. Now, for those who aren't already aware, I was a part of Rebuttal Wars 1.0. I was a co-commentator on it, and after the original host, Harry, when he quit Rebuttal Wars, I took it upon myself to take what had already been done and try to take what was unfinished and just put the product together, which wasn't easy given what was there. Now, I saw a conversation that was talking smack about Rebuttal Wars, saying it was terrible, it was shit, it was really overhyped, given what it delivered. Now, I could have gotten mad. I could have been like, fuck you, how dare you? I worked my damnedest to make sure that this thing was good. How dare you talk, be so awful? But I didn't. What I did was I just calmly explained that while I didn't want to go too into the details, there was stuff behind the scenes and made it very difficult, and that I tried the best that I could. Perfectly understanding that this was just their opinion. And that's the thing. They are perfectly entitled to think Rebuttal Wars 1.0 sucks. Because I can see many reasons why Rebuttal Wars 1.0 wasn't that good. I took a product that was only half finished, maybe even 25% finished, and I had to try and put it together as best as I could. So I can absolutely see where they're coming from. Now, how did these toxic people respond? Did they mock me? Did they jeer at me? Did they get angry that I'd responded to them, explaining myself? No, they didn't. They responded back calmly. They said that they understood. They wished me good luck with the next Rebuttal Wars, and one of them even offered to give me advice. To help me out. Looking back on it, it was a rather nice experience. And it's one of those cases where drama and an argument was avoided purely because cooler heads prevailed in the end. Because it would have been way too easy to write them off as horrible, horrible people and get into an argument with them, when they were just saying their opinion, and we both saw things from each other's perspective. And I think that this can be a common problem where a lot of drama stems from, where this doesn't happen. For instance, there's a lot of different viewpoints on what makes a good robot in Robot Arena 2. There are so many different takes on that. It's insane, really. But I also think that's what's one of the good aspects to Robot Arena 2, and I will get into that. But I think the problem is, on top of sometimes people get a little bit too cutting with their criticisms, I will state that some people do go a little too far. I think sometimes people just put too much pride into these video game robots that they get upset when these criticisms happen. when in reality, it's just a difference of opinion, really. And you shouldn't get so caught up in it. Like, I'm sure that there are people in the community that hate Hell's Angel. You know, it's this underwhelming purple hammerbot that sometimes does alright, but a lot of the times absolutely eats shit. So I could totally see that there are probably people in the community that hate seeing it. They think it sucks. And they're well within their right to think that. That's perfectly fine. I disagree. I like Hell's Angel. I mean, I'm going to retire it because I don't know much more I can do with the design, but I've always wanted to try and improve it. You know, that's the thing. It's just because we see the game slightly differently. At the end of the day, every community has the edgelords who will make edgy jokes and go a little bit too deep at times when talking smack. There's always the people who get way too angry for no good reason. There's always the tryhards. Like, these are things that exist in every community, in every fandom. There are these people. And while, yes, some of them are toxic, a lot of the time, these are people with the same intention as yourself. All everyone in this community really wants to do is they want to build what they think is a really good robot. Someone else in the community will put an event together, and we just want to compete. If we win, we win. If we lose, sometimes, yeah, we'll feel a bit cheated, but that's life. And you move on, and you work to improve the robot for next time. Now, I do want to make it clear, there are definitely toxic people and toxic aspects to the community. I'm not going to try and pretend like that isn't a thing. But my point really is, I think a lot of people's perceptions can get extremely overblown. Like, some people can get themselves so caught up in these disagreements and what people can see as disagreeable behavior that it gets so blown up in their head and gets so seen as this warped perception of this really big deal when in actuality, oftentimes, it really isn't. In fact, I think this community can be a lot better than people give it credit for. Let's take, for instance, Mitch of the Orc Corp, aka the person who runs OW, which is personally my favourite tournament in Robot Arena 2. Now, he's been doing this for a while now, but he's made it clear that he plans to step down. And when this happened, a lot of people in the community came together. A lot of people who have disagreeing viewpoints, but came together. And you know how, like, when a teacher you really like is leaving, so you and your classmates would all get together and sign this really big card? That's essentially what everyone did. I was involved, and so were many other people. And it was a really big indicator to me that this community is so much better than a lot of people give it credit for. Again, it's not perfect. There are definitely toxic aspects to it. But I think we need to give this community a lot more credit. And I think we need to just realize that, yeah, we're people with different ideas on what the best design is and what the best strategy is for balancing this really unbalanced game. But at the end of the day, we're all a bunch of people playing a nearly 20-year-old game. We're all trying to have fun. We're all just trying to interact with like-minded people who also enjoy this game. I wanted to address this because I think some people get legitimately put off when it comes to this drama. And I think a lot of the time, if you take a step back and really think about it, a lot of it isn't worth getting so upset over. A lot of it isn't worth getting so angry over. And that's really why I wanted to talk about this. Because I've seen way too many times now where quote-unquote drama has just been people not staying calm and letting a small thing get blown way out of proportion. I've talked to many people in this community, like I've said before, and a lot of people who I would be told are toxic, horrible people. Oftentimes, I've had pleasant interactions with those people. And I'd like to think I don't have beef with any of those people. I'm not going to name names because that's not the point. It's not the point to label the people that are considered to be toxic, because the fact is, so many opinions can be so wildly different on who the toxic people are. And that's my thing. Sometimes it isn't toxicity. Sometimes it's just a disagreement with how the game should be done, or how someone behaves. I think if we had more moments like when we all came together for Mitch, and less petty squabbles about video game robots, I think that's what really makes the game so great. Because when I see these tournaments, like Royal Rampage, PWS, Parsec World Series, I'm going to say about its full name, or Orcs Wars, Rebuttal Wars, like, when I see everyone coming together, this community is better than most people give credit for. I wanted to talk about this because it's been weighing on me for a while now, and I love this game, and I think it's great, and the community, I think, gets sometimes an unnecessarily bad rap. Again, there's horrible people, but yeah, I know I'm rambling, I apologize. But I just wanted to state my case why I think it's overblown. I love this game. There's a reason that I've been playing it for over 5 years. I think this game is great, and my interactions with the community have only made me want to play the game more. When I see these high-end machines or these really interesting gimmicks from people, it makes me want to just go play with these people, play with everyone more, because I want to see my robots take those ones on and see what happens. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. This community is and can be better than a lot of people give it credit for. And I think sometimes we need to take a step back if we're feeling upset or angry about something, and just stay calm, stay chill. This is a community for a fucking old video game that's about as balanced as a Scottish man's interpretation of Steel versus Feathers. Now, again, I don't like talking about drama. I want this to be the first and only time that I talk about drama, because, again, my thoughts on the community are way more positive than that. But I feel like I hear it so often that I just wanted to get it out there. I've interacted with so many people in this community, and I just disagree. I think this community is great. Not everyone in it is great, but I think the community itself is pretty good. I want to thank the people who have listened this far. Again, I don't want to do another drama video like this. I like to keep things positive on this channel. Yeah, so I'm gonna follow this video up with another video, so expect that later today. And yeah, that's all I have to say, really. I hope that you take these words to heart, and just, because all I want is people to get along more. Right, that's all I want to say. I've wasted enough of your time already. So that all said, I'm TheDominusIgnis. Bye, guys.